Hi, thank you for joining us here on NevadaWolfpack.tv. I'm Chad Hartley, and this is our Mountain West Spring Championship preview show. Leading off the show, we are joined by first-year Nevada head women's golf coach Kathleen Takaishi. And Coach, you guys are getting ready to go to the Mountain West Championships down in Palm Springs this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Right.
First, talk about your team. How do you feel about your team heading into this week's championships?
Well, we're starting to play a little bit better. Nikki Pritchard had a decent showing last week. Her swing's starting to come back around, and the driver is just giving her a little bit of trouble. So if she can start hitting some more fairways, she's making a ton of birdies. So just the driver's getting her in a little bit of trouble. And Carly Simpson is coming off a really good finish. She was third going into the final round last week at Wyoming, and just kind of had a rough day, which is a little bit expected. She first time in that position where she had a chance to have a top 5 finish or even win the event. So I'm sure there are a little bit of nerves, but Beth Worster played really well. She played pretty solid last week, so I think we're starting to peak at the right time, and we've had really good weather for practice this past couple weeks. So I'm excited about our chances of having a good finish.
You talk about this tournament down there, and I guess first the course. This is the same course down there in Palm Springs where they held last year's championships,
Right.
and so our players are familiar with it. You're in your first year, but you have some knowledge of that course too, right?
I have. I've played a few events down at that golf course, and I grew up in Southern California, and I've walked the golf course, now watching the Nabisco Dinosaur, now the Craft Nabisco. But the golf course is tough. You need to drive it pretty straight, and like I said, we're making a ton of birdies, so if we can just focus on specific targets and hit fairways and greens, I think we should do very well.
You talk about Carly kind of being in position at the last event in Wyoming, and last year Nikki made a run to championship down
Yes.
here in the Mountain West Championship. Those kind of things got to bode well that the players have had experience being in those situations and kind of need to grow from that, right?
Definitely, and I think it's good that they did have success last year. They can draw on those experiences and think about all the great shots they hit last year. And Carly had a top 10 finish, so they should have some pretty good memories and some good confidence going into the event.
Okay. You're in your first year at Nevada. What's it been like? How have you been welcomed by the community, the golf community? Obviously, we had a great winter and great spring
Right.
weather for you. We brought that in just for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been amazing, the support. All the golf courses that we've been to, they want us to come out and practice and play. So I've just been overwhelmed by the support that the Nevada or the Reno community has for Nevada athletics.
The tournament this week down in Palm Springs, obviously Mountain West Women's Golf, there's some nationally ranked or some top 50 teams in this conference.
Right.
How do you feel you stack up, and where do you kind of see this program going in the future?
Well, I think if everyone can play to their ability, I think we have a good shot at contending for the title. But clearly, all the pieces have to come together. But it definitely pushes the team to practice harder and get better, and compete at the level of the top teams in the conference.
And when you look at some of those those top 50 teams, it kind of gives you a bar of where you want to take this
Absolutely.
program, right?
Absolutely. It sure does, and that's just going to be developing the team that we have and just continue to recruit players to compete.
Okay. Well, Coach, good luck down there
Thank you.
in Palm Springs this week, and we'll have more on the Mountain West Spring Championship preview show with our men's golf program and our men's and women's tennis programs coming up after this. Hi, welcome back to the Mountain West Spring Preview Show. We're joined now with Nevada men's golf coach Jacob Wilner, and Coach, you're getting ready to head down to Tucson, Arizona this week for the Mountain West Championships. I guess first, just coming off of last week's event at UC Davis, how do you feel about your club heading into championship week?
I think everybody's playing really well. This team has done a good job of pulling together and working hard and keeping the common goal of really competing at the Mountain West Conference Championship.
You have a team that has seen leadership from different levels, but you have a freshman who's come in this year in Ryan Jones and has really played well in terms of kind of on the course performance, kind of leading the way there for you.
Yeah, Ryan's done a terrific job. His work ethic is absolutely amazing. He's always the first one to practice and the last one to leave. And trust me, all of our guys are practicing really hard as well. But Ryan's done a really good job, and that really that kind of leads by examples when you see that one of your guys is working really hard, then everybody else starts working even harder, and that just really feeds well for us getting better.
How do you feel about your club just going into the tournament, coming off this spring season?
Well, we've been making really good strides the entire semester. We've improved over 30 spots in the rankings, and I feel this golf course really suits our games really well. Tucson National is, even though it has the kind of appearance of being open because it's kind of a big open area, it's actually very important where you place your golf ball off the tee, and our best quality of the team is driving the golf ball, so I feel it really suits us very well.
We'll talk about the course here again in just a minute, but just you talk about this team, and obviously Ryan leading the way, historic average just hovering there around 73. But you've seen hot play from just about everyone up and down the lineup this year. You get rounds in the 60s from almost everybody on the team this year.
Absolutely, and that's pretty cool from a coaching standpoint when you don't know who's going to play the best that week. It's a pleasant surprise. Our entire team has been playing really well. Like you said, you never know who's going to come out and play well. I think we could do a little bit better job of piecing it together a little bit to where we're all shooting the good scores at the same time. But having said that, when you're supposed number 5 or 4 or 5 player in that position that week can finish in the top 10 or top 15, that's obviously a pleasant surprise.
Jacob, you touched on it a little bit earlier, but let's talk about Tucson National. This is a course that Nevada's had some good history with.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. Kurt Triplett won the Tucson Open back in the day, and that's obviously a pretty good vibe. And also in 2006, Casey Watabo, while playing at Nevada, shot 64 in the final round of the West Regional, which propelled us from outside of the number to inside the number that went to the national championship. So definitely have a good vibe, and we're trying to build off that.
Yeah, some good karma there going into that particular course. How do you feel you stack up against the rest of the Mountain West Conference? I know you see these teams here and there during the fall and the spring, and maybe not see everybody, but you kind of got a good sense of kind of where you're at heading into this conference championship, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the Mountain West is an awesome conference for golf. I mean, for all sports, obviously. Currently, right now, we're ranked in the 4th spot out of 11 teams, so that's something we take a lot of pride in. And our feeling is to go in and learn the golf course, study and prepare, and just play well and see how that unfolds at the end of the week.
And then obviously this will be the head-to-head matchup with Nevada and UNLV in the NV Energy Governor Series contest. So 3 points on the line at the Mountain West Championships later this week, April 25, 26, 27, 18 holes each day down at Tucson National. And Jacob, we wish you the best of luck and good luck in representing our university on there at the Mountain West.
Thank you, Chad.
All right. Coming up, we'll have more of the Mountain West Spring Championship Preview Show. Welcome back to the Mountain West Spring Championship Preview Show, joined now by men's tennis head coach Eric Burton. And Coach, it's been a great season thus far for your club. A lot of highlights during the regular season and in the fall, and now we get ready for the Mountain West Championships this week for you. What do you feel? How do you feel about your team heading into championship week?
Well, it's always tricky. It's a clinch situation now, so doubles is going to be a huge part of what we do, and we have some issues in doubles that we've got to work out, but definitely we're going to be ready to go. It's in a different atmosphere. We played a lot of home matches this year, so it's in a different altitude, and our guys really like the lower altitude. They're good players down there, so I think we're going to be right in the thick of things.
For those who might not know, what are some of the specific differences when you talk about the altitude and going to a lower altitude? Is it more control of the ball?
Yeah, you have to move to the ball better. The points are much longer. The ball's much quicker in altitude, so we've played most of our Mountain West Conference matches in altitude, and it's kind of tricky to transition. But if we can get down there and acclimate a little bit for a couple days, then definitely over the season, our guys have played tremendously well in those type of situations in that altitude, especially Santa Barbara and Pepperdine and those kind of things. We were really good, really on top of our game. So it is a difference when you play at one spot and then you go to Fresno. Fresno's a tough place to really play. So and I think we're going to be definitely ready for it.
Okay. You've had a chance to see most of the conference teams throughout the course of the season and in the fall at some of the tournaments. How do you feel you stack up against the rest of this conference going into championship week?
Well, the reason Boise came in late, they decided to come back in the Mountain West Conference, and so did San Diego State. So I didn't get to put Boise into our schedule, so I never have really seen them this year. I've just kind of seen how their heads up was with teams that we've already played or teams that we're going to play. So definitely, I think we stack up. We're right there, probably in the top third Out of the 8 teams, we're probably in the top 3, definitely possibility. I mean, we can really stack up with them. I mean, San Diego State was an early match and we lost 4-3 on their home courts, but now we're even a better team, so I know that we can be right there in the thick of things.
And the seedings will be coming out later today, hopefully, as we get ready for the championships later this week. And obviously, those seedings are important. It allows you to kind of get that early round bye and not have to play as many matches as some of those lower seeds.
I'm definitely already anticipating where I feel we're going to be at and knowing probably who we're going to play, so I'm already kind of setting my mindset for that.
Okay, let's talk about the team in particular. Who are you kind of looking for to kind of provide the leadership both on the court and off the court going into the championships?
Well, definitely in the past few matches, the seniors have really stepped up. I mean, Quentin Mej has really picked up his game. I mean, I've said a few quality things to him about the fact that I'd never seen him play that well before, and the guy is just taking off. I think Victor Uviard is also a part of that, with kind of egging Mej on to really boost the team. So I think our 2 seniors are really showing good leadership in the fact of their match play and so forth, and I think the team is going to follow that.
And both those seniors have earned Conference Players of the Week honors at different points during this season. And Victor, along with Robert, has been a pretty formidable doubles team for you this year.
Definitely. I mean, we've had our ups and downs, but I think we're like 17-2 in the season. So, I mean, the guys are, you can't expect too much more of that. I mean, going undefeated is probably very difficult, but some days are good, some days aren't. But definitely, I think we're picking up momentum in that spot.
Okay. Well, Coach, again, congratulations on a great season thus far. Good luck this week down in Mountain West Championships, and we'll be back with more of the Mountain West Spring Championship Preview Show after this break. Welcome back to the Mountain West Spring Championship Preview Show, joined now by Guillaume Tonelli, the women's tennis coach here at the University of Nevada. And Coach, coming off the weekend's match at San Jose, now getting ready for the Mountain West Championships down in Fresno this week. How do you feel about your team heading into championship week?
We've been practicing hard and competing as at our fullest, and so we are really excited. It's the one time of the year that you prepare for. You keep doing conditioning, weights on the court, and so that's the one time we really want to excel and just show how tough we are.
Let's talk about your season. You've had a couple of different 5-match winning streaks this year. Obviously, one of the highlights beating UNLV earlier this year at Collin Club. Let's talk about that match. That's the first time in 12 years that Nevada's beaten UNLV in women's tennis. What was that like for you and your program?
It was great. I mean, the girls were so happy. The players were, just. I was telling them, I'm like, put yourself in the best, situation. Give yourself opportunities, and they did, And so beating UNLV, who hasn't been in Reno for 12 years, that's another thing. They were definitely on the verge of being should we, with the altitude, with the different balls, with the competition with the Mountain West, so it was a big match for us to win, and definitely a big confidence booster.
Let's talk about your team. Michelle obviously playing out in the number 1 spot, setting the record for most career singles victories in Nevada this year. Talk about her play and what she's meant to the program this season.
She's meant so much. She's been playing really hard. She's a senior. She's leading, dictating by example, by actions, and she's definitely taught a lot to the other girls, to the other players, to the freshmen. And so her breaking the record, and I couldn't be prouder for her to be in that position. Beating UNLV for the first time. She was part of us when we beat Boise State for the first time. So she's definitely a huge part of the team, and we will definitely miss her.
Has she taken more of a leadership role, this being her senior year?
She has been. She's still not a natural leader, I would say, but definitely by actions, by example. Every time she steps on the court, everybody is just saying, oh, she's a tough player to beat. So she's definitely encouraged everybody to play better.
And then in doubles, she's teamed up to have a pretty formidable doubles team there.
I was actually just sending the nominations yesterday, and she's 12-1 with Shayla Morales. So she's definitely done amazingly in singles and doubles, and she probably is pretty close to beating the record in doubles too.
As you go into the Mountain West Championships, Does the mindset change? Does the approach or the focus change as you get into kind of that tournament format?
It's definitely a different, atmosphere. It's definitely a little bit more tricky to manage, the confidence, the pressure, and to tell them, hey, it's just another match. It's the same tennis court, it's the same, same line, same ball, same everything, and so it's definitely a little bit more tricky to tell them, mentally how to get prepared. But I think they are taking it really well, and they are excited for next week.
Okay. Well, Coach, congratulations on a great season thus far as we await the seedings for the Mountain West Championship that'll come out later this week, and then that tournament gets underway later this week down in Fresno, California. We'll be back with more on the Mountain West Spring Championship preview show right after this. You'll be able to find recaps, highlights, and more of golf and tennis during Mountain West Spring Championship Week, available on our website at NevadaWolfPack.com. Thank you for watching Wolfpack TV as part of the Mountain West Digital Network.